For hooded eyelids, what we need to do is create a faux crease. And so it's super important that we blank out our lid so we have a nice clean canvas to work on. I'm going to be taking some of this Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, just a tiny amount, so that we can just set our eyelids to prevent them from creasing. And even with the concealer, you want to make sure you don't put too much because you don't want your eyelids to start creasing. So for today, I'm going to be using the ColourPop Wild Child palette and the Good as Gold palette so that I can create that perfect gold semi-cut crease look on my eyes. But you don't have to use palettes, you can use whatever you have available to you. So I'm going to start off taking a light brown shade to start creating our faux crease, but it'll also act as our transition shade. So my crease is down here, but my bone is up here. You want to start creating that crease at the bone. So you'll feel it once you can press into it almost. And that's where you want to lay down your colors. You want to make sure you diffuse it out nicely as well so there's no harsh line between the brow bone and the crease that you just created. Okay, so now we're going to work on defining that crease more by going in with a darker brown. I'm going with Hard to Get right here, just this almost milk chocolate color. A smaller dome-shaped brush so that I can really get a precise application. And so I'm just going to follow along that same faux crease that we created. I'm creating a line that's kind of going almost diagonal up towards my brows over here. And you'll see with hooded eyelids that helps out a lot. And remember, if this is your first time, don't worry, it takes some practice and getting used to. But once you figure out how to create that faux crease, that's like a big step in understanding how to do eyeshadow for hooded eyelids. When I started getting into makeup and watching all these amazing makeup YouTubers do these stunning eyeshadow looks, and when I tried to do it myself, it just wouldn't look as good, or I couldn't get the shape to be right, and I always thought that because I had a hooded eyelids I could never do that. But really, you just have to take some time to really understand your features and know how to manipulate it. There we go. We're liking that so far, I think. And I'm also bringing in the color a little bit into the inner part of my eyes. Alright. So there's a couple of different ways that you can go about this. So you can stop right here and then you can take your concealer and cut all the way to the end of your eye, and that's going to give you a full cut crease. But today I'm going to be doing a half cut crease. So we're going to fill this outer part of our eye in with the same colors that we used for our crease colors. I'm going to go with the same colors. I'm just going to first pack it on and then blend out so that we still get a nice diffused edge. And it definitely does help to tilt your head back and raise your brows. And don't be afraid to bring it in a little bit more than what you think you need, just because we are going to be cutting it with concealer, and so it doesn't hurt to put a little extra. It's actually much harder when you didn't put enough shadow over here and then you got to go in and reblend on top of concealer. It's just a total mess. You don't want to do that, so just put a little extra shadow in the outer corner if you have to, coming in towards the center. And now I'm going to go back again with that darker milk chocolate shade, and I'm just going to press that into the outer corner as well. So just dab and put down the pigment, and then you can blend it out a little later. So this side needs a little bit more help with blending. My two eyes are not the same. This eye is definitely harder to work with, I think. Yeah, I think it's my left eye that's harder to work with. I felt like my crease kind of dropped a little bit, so I'm gonna go back in with a darker shade. Just gonna make sure that's more defined up high. You want to make sure that when you look straight into the camera, you can still see your shadow up top. If I did this following my normal crease, you wouldn't be able to see the eyeshadow. So with hooded eyelids, I would say my biggest tip is to go a little extra than what you would think is enough. Like, you want to drag it up higher than what you normally would. You want to pull it in a little bit more. So on a lot of the people, it can look a little crazy, but hooded eyelids, we can do it. We can totally do it. So now taking a flat brush, I use it for my eyebrows, it's kind of dirty, and some concealer on the back of my hands. I'm going to take some, and then I'm going to just make a little marking right here, just like that. I'm going to do the other side as well. You want quite a bit of product here because now the trick is you want to look up to the ceiling. And when you do, the concealer should leave a mark. That is your boundary. Like, you should not be making your cut crease any higher than that or lower than that. So my crease right here actually is right about here. But because when I open my eyes and look up, my crease actually has to be all the way up here. Try it yourselves and you will be able to tell. So now instead of drawing a straight line across, I like to just slowly dab my way around. And this flat brush is perfect. I just think that Morphe doesn't sell this brush anymore, which is really disappointing because I wanted to stock up on it. It is their M224 brush. It's flat and it's a little rounded at the edge, so it's perfect for like stamping on the product like this to get that shape. And this is probably one of the steps that you want to take your time on because this is what really helps define the shape and help you give that faux crease look. Slowly dragging it out a little bit, but only the top half because I want to create that diagonal line, that illusion right here. And I'm being really light-handed. I'm not dipping into any more product. I barely have any product on this brush right now. Okay, I'm liking how that's looking, and this is me looking straight ahead. You can see the concealer and you can see the brown shadow up top. And honestly, sometimes I don't even get it perfect on the first try and it takes me a couple of tries, so don't feel discouraged if you don't get it yet. Now I'm just going to take this super light shade and I'm going to use that to blend in the rest. I think I'm going to be using this shade of gold over here, it's a little darker, and this shade right here more in my inner corner area. So I'm going to pick some up in this flat shader brush, and then I'm going to just put it in the middle area of the concealer. And I'm just going to slide it. Wow, that was really pretty. Wow, I'm like so impressed with this eyeshadow. Like, I'm barely touching it and the pigment is amazing. Wow. Good job, ColourPop. Alright, now I'm going to go in with the lighter gold. I'm going to pack that into the inner corners. Or the inner part of my eyelids. And don't worry too much about blending yet. We'll get to that later. I forgot there's no mirrors on these ones, but they do have mirrors in some of their palettes now, which is nice. A little bit of Hard to Get, that color that we used before, and a little smidge of this dark brown. So I don't want it to look too dramatic, but it definitely wants a definition. So now it's time for eyeliner. So depending on how much of a hooded eyelid you have, you actually might want to skip on eyeliner, and just throwing on false lashes will give you that eyeliner look. Because eyeliner can take up your lid space and we're already limited with our lid space. So sometimes you just want to use lashes. Don't feel like you need to wear a wing liner. You don't have to. You can still get that same beautiful defined eyeliner look without wearing it. But I feel like my eyelids can actually handle a little eyeliner just as long as I don't go too thick. So I'm thinking I'm going to probably do a smoky eyeliner. And if you didn't watch my previous YouTube video, well, actually my first YouTube video where I show you guys how to do a smoked eyeliner, then go check it out and I will be right back. Alrighty, so lashes are on and I just applied some more eyeliner. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the eyeshadow for hooded eyelids. So the rest you can finish off however you want to. I really hope this was helpful and you guys learned how to do eyeshadow on hooded eyelids or how I like to do it. And remember, if you enjoyed watching today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!